Hey, good people, welcome back to the channel across the river. Please, if you are new to the channel, subscribe and activate the notifications, and so that you can get more videos when we post going forward. And please share the channel. This is a follow-up, like we promised on the last part. That was part 1, when we talked about Ndau spirit, when we started it. That will continue to talk about part 2. So in part 1, we did talk about who are Ndau people and how do they become spirits, because most people didn't know that they are people. They just know about Ndau spirit, but they didn't know how it started and how it goes. So we did talk about that, and we even talked about Ndau when they encountered other people, the relationship that they had with other people, good or bad, and the businesses that they had with different people. We also talked about how many people get to have Ndau spirits, even when they are not Ndau or not blood related with Ndau spirits. So this is the part 2 where we continue. We are going to clarify some more facts. There are some myths that are out there about Ndau spirits and that are not true. So as we clarified some of the myths in the previous clip, part 1. If you did not watch that, please do yourself a favor. Watch that clip part 1 so that you can get to understand before you continue with this clip. So it will give you a better understanding. So here we will continue to clarify some few myths and then make some extra points about Ndau spirits that it's worth knowing. It's good that you guys know about this. So I hope this clip won't be very long. It will be short compared to the previous one. Okay, so here's the myth number 1. There is a lot of myth out there that Ndau spirit is a snake. Yeah, so many people out there are saying that Ndau is a snake. So that is a myth. It's not true. Ndau is not a snake. Ndau are people, black people who live, and then after they live their traditional and spiritual life, after they pass on, they become spirit or they become ancestors. So Ndau spirit is not a snake. It's people who lived and then they are now in the spiritual world after they have died. They become ancestors or they become spirits. They become powerful spirits because they lived a traditional life and they lived a spiritual life. So they were very good in these things. That's why they are very good in the afterlife with them. And another myth is the misunderstanding, actually, like who is actually Ndau? So there are so many people who say Ndau people are Shona people. That is not true. In Zimbabwe, there are Shona people and they have their own language. And then there are also Ndau people. They also have their own language. These two languages the Shona language and the Ndau language, they are related. They are close, like they close to being similar, but they are not the same. They are not one thing. So that is why many people confuse these two. So there is this fact, this point where people say Ndau people are Shona. No, that is not true. Shona people are Shona people. Ndau people are Ndau people. Another misunderstanding is that Ndau are Tsonga, and that's also not true. Yes, Ndau and Tsonga people have shared good relationships. They did live side by side, and some of them ended up mixing with one another. But Tsonga people are Tsonga people. Ndau people and Ndau people, they are not the same. So Ndau people also had a very good relationship with Venda people, but they are not the same. They are different. Another common myth is that Ndau are Nguni people. Yes, this one is very common. It's widespread. You'll hear many people saying that Ndau people are Nguni people. That is not true. Nguni people are Nguni people who speak Nguni languages, and Ndau have got their languages. Some people who spread this rumor that Ndau are Nguni people is because they say the word or name Ndau means Ndau. Yes, in Nguni, yes. Ndau means place. So they say that Nguni people arrived in the places along Mozambique side where they were looking for a place to stay. So they asked for a Ndau, meaning a place. So a place to stay. So they became Ndau in that way. No, that is not true. Nguni people remained Nguni people. So in truth, in reality, Ndau means lion in Chindau language. The language that is spoken by Ndau people called Chindau. Ndau means lion. It does not mean a place like many people take it how it means when it is spoken in Nguni. Yes, in Nguni, Ndau means a place, yes. Even in Tsonga, there is the word Ndau for place, yes. But when you come to Ndau people, Ndau means a lion. And Ndau people also have a lion as a totem. Ndau people have a lion as a totem. And Ndau means lion in their language. It does not mean a place. So that story is a myth. Nguni people, not to mean it in a bad way, but most of you know that Nguni people are very stubborn when it comes to their identity. They want to maintain their identity. They want to maintain their language. They want to maintain their culture. They do not want to change. They really do not want to change. Those who know Nguni people will understand this. That is why Nguni people wouldn't simply change from being Nguni and then become Ndau. Those who changed, it's because they had no choice. The circumstances made them to change. Even the Nguni people who stayed with Batsonga, most of them insisted on keeping their original Nguni language. They were refusing to learn Tsonga dialects or Tsonga languages. Most of them even refused to learn Ndau languages, those who stayed with Ndau people. That is how it was. So you know that Nguni people, they love their culture, they love their language, they love their identity. to change them is not an easy thing. So that is not true. Nguni people are Nguni people. Ndau people are Ndau people. Another myth is that this spirit comes from above. It is not known where it comes from. So we have already explained how this spirit come about or how it came about. So now you know that it does not come from above. It's people who lived and who died and became spirits. Another thing is that another myth is that Basotho people do not possess Ndau spirit, or Ndau spirit do not possess Basotho or Adam people. That is also not true. There are Basotho people or Bapedi or Batswana who have got Ndau spirit, even though they are not many. When you compare it to the number, it's prevalent that in Vatsonga, Venda, and Nguni people, too many of these groups, they've got Ndau spirit. But also in Basotho related groups, there are people who have got Ndau spirit. So that is also a myth that Basotho do not possess Ndau spirit. And another myth is that Ndau spirit only possess traditional healers or people who are already practicing, the people who initiated and are now traditional healers, that they are the only ones who get possessed by this spirit. That is not true also. This spirit, like we explained, you are born with it. It's now part of your family. So when you are born with it, or you can get it along the way. You get it because of the relationship that it had with your family long time ago. So you inherit it going along. It is part of your lineage now going on. So you will go to initiate and become a traditional healer while you have this spirit. Yes, that's how it works. So first, if you go to initiation or to Twasa, you will first initiate or Twasa for your family or your clan ancestors. And then later, that is where you deal with Ndau spirits. Another myth is that everyone who has got Ndau spirit must Twasa or must initiate. That is also not true. It's not everyone who have got Ndau spirit and who must Twasa. Some people do not need to initiate. All they need to do is just to learn a little bit of the Ndau language so that they can understand, because when the Ndau spirit communicate in most cases, they will come out and communicate in their language, in Ndau language. So if you do not know this Ndau language, it will be very difficult for you to understand what they are saying. That is why it's very important that you learn a little bit of Ndau so that you can understand. It will be easy to understand it because Ndau language, it's related to most of our languages. So it's not a big deal to learn the language, and also to learn some of the culture of Ndau people so that you can relate and know how things are done. And those people, what they need to do is the final step, what is called kuparula. Like, yes, kuparula. For a lack of a better word, I can say is to graduate actually. It's the final step where the Ndau spirit gets activated in your life. It is aligned with you so that you can be able to work with it, be able to communicate with it. And then Yeah, like I think graduation is the right way to use, but it's only those steps that you need, the final part of it actually. So it's commonly called the kuparula. So it's not true that everyone who has gotten the Holy Spirit must twasa or must initiate. Some people do not need to go through that, even though many people need to initiate or twasa first. And another myth is that Ndau spirit only possess Nguni people. Like I already said, that Nguni spirit also possess Basotho, they also possess Batsonga, they also possess Bavenda, and yes. So it's not true that they only possess Nguni people. That's why if you are here in South Africa, if you can take time to travel around South Africa, travel along the different tribes in South Africa, you will realize that in these too many tribes, there are people who have got the Ndau spirit. Yes, all over South Africa actually. The Ndau spirit is so full in South Africa. Another myth is that black color does not associate with Ndau. Like Ndau spirits do not use the black color when it comes to clothing. That is also not true. Ndau spirits, they do use black clothing too. Yes, even though it's not common with many people, but there are those people who are required to use black clothing. Many people relate the black clothing with the Zoza spirit and also with the Hosanna spirit, because there is a spirit called Hosanna. It's not common, it's not known to many people, but in the near future, we will make a clip where we are going to tell you more, guys, about Hosanna spirit so that you get to understand this spirit and know about it. It is the spirit of rain. They are the rainmakers. So even about the Nzuza spirit, we will make a clip where we'll clarify more of the issues concerning Nzuza spirit. So Ndau spirit, they are very difficult to work with or to deal with. They are very powerful spirits. Yes, that's true. They are very powerful. And in them being powerful, they also very become difficult to deal with. So the way they want things to be done, that's how they want things to be done. They do not compromise. Like you can't bribe them, you can't cheat them. The way they want things to happen, that is how they want things to happen. And if you have them, they will make sure that you know that they are there in your life. Even though for some people they are not clear, they don't reveal themselves much. Yes, it happens a lot with many people. Many people will be having Ndau spirits who are not really revealing themselves or being clear on what they want. And even if you go to healers or you go to prophets or to see to people who can see spiritual things, they hide themselves. They don't reveal who they are and what they want. That is why most people end up being diagnosed wrong. They are read wrong by the seers. It's because the Ndau spirit didn't want to reveal themselves. This is caused because in most cases when they were living with our ancestors back then, they didn't assume their identity their tradition like that. So they had to live with people in most cases, and they had to align themselves with the traditions of other people, the language of the other people, the food of the other people, the lifestyle of the other people, things like that. So, and our spirit, when you have them, they will really affect your wealth part. Yes, they will affect your wealth part. As you know that they were business people, they were traders. So they deal with wealth. Um, that is why they are mostly called Nkwembu wa Mali or Idlozile Mali, meaning the financial ancestor or the ancestor of the money. Yes, that's why when they are there in your life, they will affect this part a lot. And if you are a woman, they will also affect your fertility a lot. Yeah, so if you are not yet aligned with them, um, your wealth part will take a hit, and your fertility part will also take a hit. Even for some men, they do struggle with fertility. Yes, where people struggle to fall pregnant, people struggle to have children, they struggle to have babies. Yes, the Ndau spirits do affect those things. Another part is that they do affect your sex life. Yes, your sex life will be affected. It will take a toll. So you might lose interest in sex. You may not get interested in sex. You may have low libido. You may have weak erections. You may have erectile dysfunction. If you are a woman, you can also experience pains when you have sex. Yes, it happens like that. So actually, your sex life might become problematic. That's how it happens. And if they possessed you, they want you to initiate. Yes, they will really do it. They will make sure that you must initiate. They can force you to initiate. They have the ability to do it. Unless if you are lucky and you have the ones who don't force you. But if you are not lucky, you will have the ones who will force you. Yes, and the the bad parts in your life, where you become unfortunate, that is where um, they they usually come in to show themselves that we are here. You see, in the parts of you losing things, where you lose your job, you lose your businesses, you lose your cars, you lose your properties. Yeah, those incidents actually, that is where they appear most to show themselves that we are here and this is what we want you to do. See, so they are able to start you from scratch. So it's like you will be up there, high up there, where you have everything and you think you have everything figured out in your life. You might be married, you might be working, having a car, having a house, or having a business. Everything that you need, you have, and you think you are set in life. So they are able to come in your situation like that. Remember, these people, they are not your family ancestors. They are not your family. They are not your blood ancestors. But they do work with your ancestors. So the things that your ancestors don't want to do to you because they feel sorry for you, Ndau spirits are not afraid to do those things, and they won't feel sorry for you. You see, your ancestors will look at you that they want you to trust her, but you are running away and they may let you go. But when they are working with Ndau spirit, they will let Ndau spirit to deal with you while they watch. You see? So your ancestors do want to force you to trust her, but sometimes they feel sorry for you, so they can't do it themselves. So they let Ndau do it on their behalf, you see. So in your comfortable zone, in your state where you have got everything figured out, you have a job, they can take that job away. You have a car, they can take that car away. You have a house, they can take that house away. You have a spouse, you are married, they can destroy that marriage, they can take that spouse away. You have a business, they can take that business away. So they can actually make you to lose everything that you had, everything that you thought you had it figured out. They can start you from scratch, so they can destroy everything that you have. That mighty, that pride you had, that ego you had, they can knock everything down so that they can get you where they want you, to start you from scratch and do what they want. And then if you go along with them doing what they want, you follow the instruction, and you end up getting initiated, and then you work well with them, they will replace everything that you lost. Like we said before, that they deal with wealth, they deal with fertility, they deal with sex life. So after like you see, you had a partner, they knock down your sex life. You can't even have sex with your partner. You can't even have good sex with your partner. But when you start to align your life with them, you start to work well with them, they bring those things back. Your sex drive will come back. Believe me, that sex drive that you lost is going to come back. You will become very horny. You will become the horniest person in the world. Horny like nobody's business, that you will always want sex. Those erections you lost, they will come back. That libido that you lost, it will come back. So, yes, you are going to have sex, lots of it, because they will give it back to you, and they will give back your fertility. You will have children. They will give back your cars. They will give back your businesses, your jobs. Even if you don't work for anyone anymore, you will be able to work for yourself, and you will be able to sustain yourself. You will have most of the things that you need. So Ndau spirit, in most cases, for their healing and problem solving, they use herbs. This is their specialty. They use herbs. They know a lot of herbs. That is why they taught our ancestors so much about herbs. Our ancestors even went to them to seek help when it comes to herbs. Too many different types of herbs. They know how to cast different spells, and they know how to heal different things, how to solve so many problems. They also use the process called Kufemba, the African exorcism. This process, there is also a video clip that we made about Kufemba that explains a lot about this process. So if you don't know about this process, you can check that clip out. It will explain to you how Kufemba works, because this process, in summary, it can access your spiritual field and be able to see all the spirits in your life, and access all the spirits and differentiate the bad spirits and the good spirit. It can chase away the bad spirit and leave the good spirit. It can also tell you the type of ancestors you have, and even the names of your ancestors. and even the gifts that you have. So it can chase away the evil from your life. So all the answers that you need, you can get from this process, Kufemba. Yes. Ndau spirits, they are called water spirits. I'm sure you know very well that they are called water spirits here in South Africa and some parts of the world where they have them, because people move around. So they are commonly known as water spirits. But why are they called water spirits? What is the reason behind? The reason, there is number of reasons. Like their graves are not known, you see. People do not know where they are buried. So they cannot go to their graves to talk to them or communicate with them or connect with them. So when people want to connect with them, they usually go to water, the rivers and the dams, to connect with Ndau spirit. That is another reason why they are called water spirit. Another reason is that when they were killed during the wars that we talked about in part one, most of them were thrown into the water. They were thrown into the rivers, that Zambezi River, yes, during the war. And then some of them, when they were staying with our ancestors back, there are some ancestors who refused to bury them, to give them a proper burial when they died, like we explained in part one. So they have thrown their bodies into the water, into the waters, into the rivers. Yeah, that is why they are also called water spirits. Some of them, when they were running away during the wars, they were trying to cross the river. They were killed right there inside the water. So they were not thrown into the water, but they were killed just there inside the water, and their bodies were left there. See, and then another thing is that, as you know about the process of Kuparula, people do go to the water to complete this process of Okuparula. They call it like you are going to collect the Ndau spirit from the water. So they do take you to the water during this process, so that your Ndau spirit becomes active. What they call that you are collecting your Ndau spirit from the water. Another reason is that they lived so much by the water. They lived very close to the rivers. They lived so much close to the water. So their lives in the olden days were so much about water life, actually. And about the issue of candles and impepo. Traditionally, in the olden days, Ndau people didn't use candles. Yes, they did not use candles, and they did not use impepo. The impepo is called an incense. This impepo, they did not use it in the olden days. Even now, most of them still don't use it. If you go around places, if you go to Mozambique, you go to Zimbabwe, you go to Malawi, most people who deal with Ndau spirit and Ndau, they still don't use candles and impepo to connect with the ancestors or connect with the spirit. Unlike what is the case here in South Africa. If you can check here in South Africa, most people have adopted the practice of using candles and the practice of using impepo when people connect to the spirit or the ancestors. These are actually new practices. There is another clip that we made that talks about flames when you talk to ancestors. the use of flames, the dangers of using flames when you talk to ancestors. That clip, if you did not watch it, you can watch it. Dangers of using flames when you talk to ancestors. It can give more clarity to this. People have adopted so much things in today's world, things that were not like that in the olden days. I am not saying it is wrong when you use candle or when you use impepo. I'm just highlighting so that you know that traditionally candles and impepo were not used when it comes to connecting with Ndau spirits. But it is what it is in this world, in today's world. It is happening. People are doing it. Ndau spirits, they do work with healers. Yes, like you can initiate and twasa as a healer. You twasa your family ancestors or your clan ancestors, and then you also parola for Ndau spirit. So the Ndau spirit can work with you as a healer in that way. They also work with prophets. Yes, they are not that stubborn. We know that they are known for being stubborn. But when it comes to prophets, they allow themselves to work with them. So you can be a person who goes to church and then you have this spirit. In most cases, they will approve your church life. They will allow you to participate in church. They will allow you to live your life as a church person. And then your gift of being a traditional healer, they will allow you to use it as a prophet in church. Yes, that is how it works. They will allow you to use your gift as a prophet in a church to convert your traditional healing gift, as long as you are helping people. But they usually want the spiritual churches that have got a prophetic life in them, the churches that have got injunctions, yes, where they give the injunctions, where they do prophetic sessions in those churches. They approve of those churches in most cases. The churches where you can use the wools, different colors of the wools, you can use the water, you can use the salt, you can use the candles, such things actually. So they approve of those churches. So you don't need to be very afraid if you are a church person thinking that they won't approve of your life as a church person. They have approved for many people, so they might also approve yours. But there are those who really refuse. They want someone to strictly be a traditional healer. As you know, the church life is a new thing. Traditionally, in the olden days, there were no churches. I hope you know about that. So the church issue is actually a new thing that came along, and more especially when the apartheid government banned or created the laws that prevented people from practicing their traditional ways of life. They prevented people from harvesting the herbs. They prevented people from practicing the traditional healing ceremonies, the traditional healing practices. So many people had to run to the churches so that they can continue to use their spiritual gifts in the churches, to hide in the churches, because the apartheid government was oppressing them. So that life brought us where we are today, where we have churches, we have the traditional practices. So the traditional practices and the church practices are mixed today. Yes. Okay, you talked about that. Yeah. So the spirit also, like you just said, they work well with the family ancestors or the clan ancestors. they do not fight. Actually, it's not true that Ndau spirit and your family ancestors fight or clash. They do not clash. They work well together. But when you initiate, you need to make sure that you initiate for your family ancestors properly, and then after that, you will initiate for your Ndau spirit. Then you align with them so that everything will be well. They will work well together. They will work hand in hand. They will be assisting each other. Ndau spirits also work well with the other spirits. Yes. They do work well with other spirits like the Nzuza spirit, the Nkanyamba spirit. They do work very well with them. They can work hand in hand with them. They do not fight. It's not true that they fight, like many people say that there is a conflict between this spirit. No, it is not true in that way. They work very well together. And they are also the people who love music. Yes, they enjoy music, they enjoy singing, they enjoy dancing, they enjoy clapping. Yes, but their dancing is so much different from the way our family ancestors dance or the way we dance. Ndau spirit, when they dance, they use they use their hands and their knees most, and they can kneel down and start dancing when their knees are down, like they are not dancing standing actually. Like you see how most of our people dance. We dance standing, being active like that. So Ndau spirit or Ndau people, they dance in a different manner. Yes. So this Ndau spirit, I'm sure even if you didn't know, it is one of the most misunderstood spirit. This spirit is so misunderstood. So misunderstood. That is why we are doing these clips so that you guys get to understand better. You get to understand the whole spirit much better. You know what the whole spirit is. That is why we started it from the beginning, like how it started and how people got the whole spirit and how it is going. So it's just so that we highlight you, we clarify these things to you guys so that you get to know, to clear the misunderstanding, to clear the confusion, to clear the myth that is out there, because there is so much myth out there, there's so much lies out there, so much misunderstanding, misconceptions out there. You see, and even the most healers, there are too many healers who still don't understand the whole spirit. Yes, that is true. A person can be a healer, but it does not mean that they have Ndau spirit, or they know how to deal with Ndau spirit, or they know how to initiate Ndau spirit. Most healers do not know, but as we know in today's life, this healing industry is infested with people who take chances, is infested with fake healers. You know, in the olden days, it was so easy because this profession was so respected and it was not used to make money. Not that people don't have to pay. People have to pay for the services, yes. But to use this profession with the aim of making money out of the people, that is wrong. Firstly, a healer's job is to heal people, is to help people. Money comes as you are healing people. When you are healing people, people pay you and then you get money. So money comes along. That's how you get money. But the purpose is not to make money. The purpose is to heal. The purpose is to help. So there are people who are using this profession to make money. So that is why they rob people. They will lie to people that they know how to initiate Ndau spirit. Come to me, I will initiate you, I will help you with Ndau spirit. And then you go to them, you give them their money, You give them your money, and then they don't initiate you right. They initiate you wrong because they are taking chances. And then your money is gone in that way. So there are so many people who are not initiated properly into Ndau spirit. There are so many people. Many people will be going from healer to healer, from healer to healer, and they are paying money in all of those things. So this is very wrong, actually. It is very wrong. So people lose their hard-earned money. You see, you are struggling. You are struggling with money. The little money that you get, you pay to a healer who is lying to you, and they initiate you wrong. Some people, some healers, they will initiate you with other spirits that are not Ndau, and they claim that those spirits are Ndau, but they are not. They are just making business out of you so that they can get money out of you. You see, a person who can help you with the Ndau spirit is someone who is initiated and qualified to work with the Holy Spirit, someone who works directly with the Holy Spirit. A person who does not have the Holy Spirit can't really initiate you, can't really help you with that. Some of them, they don't even understand Ndau. They don't even understand a little bit of the culture of Ndau people. And that person will be claiming that, yes, I know a lot about Ndau. What a lot that you know that you can't even speak the basic language of Ndau people. How do you understand the Ndau spirit when it comes out to talk? Because it will be talking in Ndau language and you do not understand, you see. So many people have been robbed a lot. So be careful out there. That make sure that the people who promise to help you with Ndau are the right people, are the qualified people, the people who have been initiated into Ndau spirit and they are working with Ndau spirit. So yes, be careful out there. Pay good attention to that. You see, yeah. So the Holy Spirit, if you have the Holy Spirit, if things don't go well in your life, most of the things are not going well in your life, you just need to know that you are not in line with the Holy Spirit. Your Ndau spirit is not really happy about you. There are things that you need to fix. There are things that you need to correct. So you need to check what is it that is not right from your side and correct it. Sometimes you will feel it when you sleep. You see, when you are sleeping, you will get oppressed. You, you, you get oppressed, like you can't wake up, you can't move. It's like there is something that is pushing you down, that is forcing you down. You see, like the sleep paralysis. Yeah, the sleep paralysis. Most of the time, if you have the Holy Spirit and then you experience a lot of the sleep paralysis, try to examine yourself, examine your spiritual life, examine everything around you to see where you are lacking, to see what is wrong in your life, in your spiritual life, and then fix those wrongs or fix those mistakes. Even if it's not a mistake, but if something needs to be fixed, check it out and fix it. So those sleep paralysis in most cases, it's a sign that there is something wrong when it comes to Ndau spirits that the Ndau spirit is not happy about. Yeah, but do not confuse any sleep paralysis for Ndau spirit. There are so many reasons. There are so many things that can cause sleep paralysis. So you don't have to take every sleep paralysis like it's Ndau spirit if it happens, and then you just conclude that I know it's Ndau. So you need to know what is causing your sleep paralysis too. Yes. So like we talked about in part one that there are some spirits who come for embodiment in your life. That is why you must become a traditional healer. Yes. So becoming a traditional healer is the way of the embodiment. So there are also Ndau spirits who will want a special heart built for them in your home. You see those small Randavels heart that we build for the ancestors. Yes, the Ndau spirit who can want you to build that heart for them as their house. And if you build them that heart, they also want, some of them also want a wife, meaning in that family, a girl will be selected and be given to that Ndau spirit as a wife, and that spirit will be happy. So that girl will be dedicated to that spirit, to that Ndau spirit, is the wife of that spirit. This girl will be the one who cleans that house, who makes sure that everything about that house is going well. And even if there are offerings, if you slaughter an animal at home or a goat, maybe you will take a piece and then you give to that Ndau spirit. So this girl is the one who will take that meat to that house. So that girl is actually responsible for most of the things around the issues of that Ndau spirit at home. So this girl is considered the wife of the Ndau. So even when it comes to marriage, when this girl must be married, she doesn't just wake up and get married. This Ndau spirit must be told that your wife is about to get married to this family, to this person. So give her the permission, give her the freedom. So set her free so that she can get married to that person and then be with her, bless her, give her children, make her marriage successful. And then the Holy Spirit will approve that this girl gets married. If that is not done, the marriage is not going to last, it's not going to work out. Believe me, I'm not lying on this one. I'm telling you the truth. This girl, if the Ndau spirit is not informed and the Ndau spirit did not give the blessing or did not approve, that marriage is going to fail. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to work. So the best way to make this marriage work, you need to inform the Ndau spirit that the girl is getting married. Yes, so that then the Holy Spirit can give the blessings. This spirit will also go with the girl in the marital life to support the girl, to bless the girl. The girl will have a successful marriage, a happy marriage, will have children. Everything will be good there because then the Holy Spirit has approved. So after this girl is being married, eh, then the Holy Spirit will expect a replacement. So if there is another girl in the family or in the relatives, another girl will be needed who will replace this girl as the wife of the Ndau spirit. Yes, a replacement will be needed. Unless if there is no one who is available to be a replacement as a wife of the Ndau spirit. And then you will need to explain to the Ndau spirit that since your wife is gone, is married, and then you approved, there is no other one, there is no other girl who can be your wife, whom we can give as your wife. But as we are living, when we get a girl child, we are going to give that girl child to you as your wife. Yes. But even if you do not make this promise because you are not sure if you are going to have a girl child or not, but you need to inform that there is no other girl who can replace that girl who is married. You see, that's how it is. Guys, I really wanted to be short in this topic. I wanted to be shorter than the first one, but I just got carried away and talked a lot and talked a lot, you see, and it made this clip to be longer than the first one. That was not my aim. I wanted to make like maybe a 15 or 20 minutes video, but when I was talking, I got carried away to share most of the things to clear the air so that I can make you understand. Because I'm got really worried that people have got so much misunderstanding about this spirit, guys. So this is our part 2. We are going to make part 3. Ne? We are going to leave you with this information to digest. Please digest this information. Digest this information. We are going to make part 3. Part 3 is going to cover the signs, like how do you know that you have Ndau spirit. Many people are always asking about this. How do I know that I have Ndau spirit? There are 3 ways in which you can know. I can say 3 categories. Category number 1 is about dreams. You will have dreams that indicate that you have Ndau spirit. Category number 2 is about the sicknesses or the ailments that you will experience in your body that will indicate that you have Ndau spirit. The category number 3 is your lifestyle. Your lifestyle will be affected. There are ways in which your lifestyle will be affected to show that you have Ndau spirit. So we are going to cover these 3 categories in details in the next clip, the part 3 about Ndau spirit. So it will give you a clear understanding, like how you can know that you have Ndau spirit. But not everyone will experience what we will talk about. Everyone will experience a set of some of the things in what we will mention. You can't experience everything, but we are going to cover everything so that everyone is included, everyone will know. So we will cover most of the dreams that happen, we will cover most of the sicknesses, we will cover most of the lifestyles that will be affected, so that everyone will get to know that they have Ndau spirit or not. Yes, that's how we are going to do it. Thank you very much, guys. Please check the other clips in the channel. There are very interesting clips in the channel. You can go to the playlist there. You will see the playlist. Under the playlist, there are videos. We've got some spells. We've got some guidance. We've got some spirit clips. So you are going to enjoy it. Yeah, like we said, we will still post more videos to enlighten you guys. Thank you.